We practice three religions, and two religions don't really respect the dead, don't honor the dead. They think the dead become demons and all that. Traditionally oriented men usually have more than one wife, but then they will have money to care for these women. So when you see a man having one wife, it means he's broke, he's poor. Is a country you should visit before you die. I call it before I die list. It should be on your bucket list. It's amazing. It's wonderful. The people are just so good.
Get ready to explore the world through Oma's eyes, a Nigerian volunteer who spent a semester as a teacher sharing her rich culture in Mexico. From traditional dances to the surprising cultural differences she faced, Oma's journey is full of discovery and inspiration. Stay tuned to hear her incredible story.
My name is Ifoma, but I prefer to be called Oma. I am from Nigeria. I am 31 years old. I came to volunteer for a program. I have always watched movies about Mexico. I have always heard about the history, the places, and the culture, and the most famous festival of Mexico known as the Day of the Dead. And I choose to visit Mexico to volunteer so I can share in their culture. So the program invited me to be an intercultural exchange teacher. They have the objective that I share my culture with the student, and the student will also share the culture of Mexico with me. Students who understand and speak English at basic level can join my class and learn about my culture and also present their culture for me. So if I have a topic on gastronomy from Nigeria, they will present to me gastronomy from Mexico. It is a unique program because the process where the students share the culture and everything about Mexico is the process where I learn a lot about Mexico to take back home and also to cancel the wrong information I have heard about Mexico. I came and I heard that Mexico is not safe, Mexico is so bad, Mexico is filled with so many dangerous things. And then I came to Mexico, I met people so wonderful, they are good, they are exciting, rich culture, so many wonderful food and beautiful traditions. And I have been safe. I was never harassed. I traveled around the city in the public bus. I went to the local market. I mixed different family. I never had a problem. So I wonder where the information that Mexico is not safe came from.
I'm not sure actually, but I'm very glad that you had this experience, that you enjoyed this experience. But tell us a little bit more. I mean, this program, how does it work? I mean, it lasts for a semester. Can you live with a family, with a student's family, or?
So I lived with a student family for 3 months. Before we got here, we were given some forms to fill where we were informed that we would be living with students' family. We were with the student family for 3 months. They fed us, gave us accommodation, and we were able to be in the family setting and learn from the family aspect of Mexico.
Are you the only teacher in this program? Intercultural teacher, I mean?
No, we were 4. We had a teacher from Poland, we had a teacher from Slovakia, we had a teacher from Hungary, and me. So we're 4 from different countries.
Did you have any expectations about Mexico, really?
I had a different expectation about the host family. I thought I would be given a family that could speak English so that I can have good communication and conversation with them. But I was given a family that doesn't speak English and I don't speak Spanish. So it was very, very difficult. But for the expectations I had about Mexico, it exceeded my expectations because I never knew I would eat so much food. I never knew they had so many celebrations and festivals. I never knew the people were this accommodating. I thought I was going to meet a bunch of racists. So it was different. It exceeded my expectation.
That is great. What is your favorite thing about Mexico during this trip?
The Day of the Dead. I have read about the Day of the Dead and watched movies about it. I wanted to see what it is all about because in my country, we practice three religion and two religion don't really respect the dead, don't honor the dead. They think the dead become demons and all that. And personally, I have lost a father and a brother, so I don't think the dead are demons. So when I was watching movies about the Mexican culture of the Day of the Dead, I was really interested in visiting because I felt I was with other families who has lost a loved one, and this was an opportunity to honor and remember them.
And you got involved into this tradition, right?
Yes, I painted my face. I held a candle. I walked on a procession. It was my high point of being in Mexico.
Do you recommend the others to visit?
Yes. If you are listening to this and you are not in Mexico, you are yet to experience a whole lot of culture and activities that cannot even be written out. It is so unfortunate that the media spends so much time in telling terrible stories about Mexico and never the beautiful stories about Mexico. I wish I could extend my visa, but the Mexican immigration doesn't allow people to extend their visa. Mexico is a country that you want to come and stay. If you check on Google, you will see that Mexico is the third most visited country in the world. Then you are going to ask yourself, if Mexico is not safe and not interesting, why would it be the third most visited country in the world? I visited Tequila in Jalisco. I visited Teotihuacan, just close to Mexico City. I visited some other places around Michoacan, Morelia, like Ixtapa, Tintuntan, Uruapan, Paspero, and I visited Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, and Isla Mujeres.
Really?
Yeah.
You went to Cancun and all of that south part of Mexico. And what is your opinion about that? Because it is the most famous part of Mexico, I think.
The places are very beautiful. It is more beautiful than movies show it. So beautiful, but expensive. So if you want to go there, be ready to spend some good money. And also, it is breathtaking. My most recommended two places is Tulum and Isla Mujeres. Tulum because of the jungle. It's the jungle and the cenotes. The cenotes, they have over 5,000 cenotes in Tulum. So you can visit the free ones or the ones where you pay little money. Then the jungle, you are just going to be lost away in the jungle. Then you go to Isla Mujeres, which is translated to the island of women, which I heard it used to be the home of a fertility goddess. I went there. The water is crystal clear. You can be in the middle of the ocean and see fishes swimming on the net. Like, it is like a fairy tale. It is like a fairy tale. So these are my two top places.
Wow. So what would you say to the people that wants to meet this paradise?
Okay, I traveled on a tight budget. I traveled solo. I traveled on a backpack. So I was able to spend about 500 USD for the 8 days that I stayed. I did not visit all the places. I visited the places that caught my attention. Isla Mujeres, Cancun, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, all have beaches. But you go to Isla Mujeres, that is where you have the god of all beaches. Then they all have little bit of jungle, but Tulum is the head of jungle. So you can be in these two places and experience it and spend less money. But if you want to enjoy the traditional Mexico, come to Michoacan, Morelia. That is where you will see the real Mexico. Cancun, Tulum are westernized. They are touristic. You don't even know you're in Mexico if you are there. But if you want to visit the rural, traditional life of Mexico, come to Michoacan, Morelia precisely. Morelia has the most beautiful city center you would ever imagine.
What is your advice for all of these young people listening this podcast and want to do this, like this kind of program? They want to join to this kind of program in another country, or the people that can hear us and want to visit Mexico. now it's on fashion to travel.
The best way to travel the world is to volunteer, because you are not just traveling to fancy resort and places, you are traveling and giving your service to humanity. When you volunteer, you will have a chance to speak with the locals, interact with the locals, and know deep things about their place and different from a tourist. So after volunteering, you can spend the remaining months of your stay to travel around, go to places. Also, Mexico is a country you should visit before you die. I call it before I die list. It should be on your bucket list. It's amazing. It's wonderful. The people are just so good. If you are someone who like to test different food, come to Mexico. You'll see so much food. The gastronomy is wonderful. Mexico is a place you should visit. And don't miss the Day of the Dead, which happens November 1st and 2nd.
During your visit in Mexico, I mean, intercultural shock that you have experienced,
It's young people kissing around.
like really in public, in the school, you mean,
In
right?
public, in school, everywhere.
Holding hands.
Kissing, not holding hands, kissing. It doesn't, I still don't understand. I don't understand it. Young people kissing in public.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Nigeria? Because we have this negative publicity that is in our mind every time. So, like poverty, wild animals in the cities or in the towns. So,
Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world. We have the strength of 250 million population. Nigeria has wonderful culture. We are family oriented. Unfortunately, the Western media is powered by certain countries. So any country they don't like, they blacklist them. We have lots of culture. Our gastronomy is way out of the world. Each region with their food. And we have various music, traditional music, where you dance with every part of your body. And Nigeria has 3 religions: Christianity, Islam, and traditional religion. Traditional religion is a religion where they worship the ancestors. Nigeria has lots of places of interest where you can visit, historical places, traditional sacred places, where when you want to visit, you have to take off your shoes, you have to cover your body, you have to adhere to certain rules and regulations, because it's a sacred place to visit. So Nigeria is a country that you should visit to experience a different culture.
one interesting thing that you told me before is that machism in Nigeria, a strong
Yeah.
machism, and polygamy, I mean, which is an interesting topic.
Nigeria is a very cultural, conservative country. We are cultural, and part of our culture is polygamous. We believe that culturally a man should have more than one wife. So traditionally oriented men usually have more than one wife, but then they will have money to care for these women. So when you see a man having one wife, it means he's broke, he's poor. When he has money, multiple wives and multiple children. Nigeria believes in reproduction. They believe in having children. The minimum children you should have is 3.
Okay.
The maximum is 5. So we believe that the children are our future and the children are our retirement plan. So everybody wants to have children. So the 3 basic things for a Nigerian is to go to school, get married, and have kids. And according to the Nigerian law, children inherit their father's status, father's nationality. So if you are a woman from Ghana, you get married to a Nigerian man, your children are Nigerian. And if you are a Canadian woman, you got married to a Nigerian man, and the children are born in the UK, those children are Nigerians. We inherit our father's name and his nationality.
What is going to happen if I travel to Nigeria, if I am a man, for example?
First of all, Nigeria has 0 racism. Like 0, 0, 0 racism. Instead, it is the other way. Because of colonialism, we believe that the Western people has good education, good ideology, so we kind of celebrate Western people. So if you walk the street of Nigeria, everybody will want to have a selfie with you, People want you to visit them so that they can say, foreigner is in my house. It is a big thing. And it is bigger when a foreign woman marries a Nigerian man, because our tradition makes a woman inherits the man's nationality and the children inherits the man's nationality. The family of the man are happy that they have a foreigner in their family and their kids will be mixed. So it is a plus for them.
Thank you so much, Oma, for your time. Thank you for being here with me, living a few days with me. At the end of your trip, you have a home now in Mexico.
Thank you.
You can come back as many times as you want.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe or to leave a comment. I will also give you Oma's social media so you can follow her. So this is it. I'm Hugo, the super host of this podcast, and I'll see you next week with another new guest.